not to waste our time, we are from the University of Ibadan. Professor Arulogun Oyetoni, who is the Director, Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, University of Ibadan. You are welcome, ma'am. Madam came with a full team to our own university. While we were speaking here, we listened to people from different disciplines, even from pharmacy. And that is what our VC has been promoting. Diverse collaboration. You are welcome once again, ma'am. I want to bring to this side of the table the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Olumuyiwa Omotola Odusoya. This is her. Our keynote speaker for today too will join the Vice Chancellor, Professor Arulogun Oyetoni from University of Ibadan. The Director of the Center, Engineer Sunday Additional. While we await the arrival of other principal officers of the university, I want to specially recognize the Dean and Directors there. The Dean, College of Engineering, Dr. Bankole, I see you, you're welcome, you are recognized. Director, this special school lady, you are welcome, you are recognized too. Dean, College of Agric, Dr. Ogubanwo, I see you, you are welcome. And so that Dean and Director joined us who recognized them. All others were all specially recognized. The national anthem. University anthem, please. Thank you. Let's take our seats. Director Cesar Sir.
Good morning, Vice Chancellor. Good morning, my director from Center of Entrepreneurship and Invention at University of Ibadan. Good morning to all my colleagues. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Oluwa Odusoya, and the entire management, I welcome you all to this all-important training on entrepreneurship. One of its kinds is the establishment of our great University of Excellence. The goal of this training is to equip us with the skills and knowledge to deliver entrepreneurship in the university. Like a wise man once said, until you are trained, you cannot be traced. So for you to be traced in the school of entrepreneurship, you need to be trained. This session promises to be impactful, mind-blowing, and very educative. So let us be attentive and avoid any kind of distraction. Proximity does not guarantee connectivity, but receptivity does. Fasten your seat belt, as different menus will be served on this flight by our well-seasoned facilitators, led by Professor Oyetunni Arulogun, the Director of Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, University of Ibadan. Once again, we are all welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, my director. Want to take our time. I'd like to invite the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Olumuyiwa Motola Odusoya, for his speech. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, dear colleagues. It's a thing of joy for us to have this training this morning. I'd like to welcome particularly my sister, friend, dean, very wonderful health education practitioner, professor of public health, and the orator of University of Ibadan, Professor Eladun Arulogun. Like I said before, I was in Ibadan on sabbatical professor. So I had a leg in clinical sciences, been in community medicine, another leg in public health, because the department is in both places. I then collected that when I was in Ibadan. Thank you very much. I have written speech for this morning, but before I read that speech, I please show the anthem again. And I want to take off from not the chorus. Alright. That anthem captures for all what entrepreneurship is. Combining education with dexterity, with skills acquisition. So it means that education must not be abstract, must not be theoretical alone. It's more than production of knowledge. Like we say, if we went to school, when I went to school, ìwé kíkọ́, láìsí ọkọ́, àti ẹ̀dá. That's the important bit of it. Look at the second stanza. We commit ourselves to be an entrepreneurial relationship. Second stanza. He says, as is such a burning passion, and you have such a passion, and he says, for skills, which is the foundation of good economy. We have destroyed skills in the country, and skills does not mean you have to be a motor mechanic. And it says next line that this university is supposed to be the home of inventions and groundbreaking research. Why do we have a lot of that? So that we can groom leaders and shape lives. So we must not just sing it like we sing in church, in theaters. Have you ever asked yourself, and look at the nonsense, we're trying to build a great nation of excellence and integrity. All of that built on skills, invention, patents, things that would make a nation become better. That is the reason why we have gathered here. So if you don't remember anything, go back and look at the song we sing every time and see how it affects you. I welcome all participants to this training on entrepreneurship for our staff holding today. I welcome particularly again my dear sister, an eminent professor of public health, former dean, faculty of public health, and also of Ibadan, Professor Yeduni Arulogun, and our team of trainers. I did salute the energy and perseverance of the acting director, Cesar. God help you. If I ask you to come and join me doing this work, I'm going to push you very hard for organizing this training. This training fits with the 6th strategic initiative of the Impact Vision, which I've spoken about since I became Vice Chancellor. The T standing for Town and Town Relationship in the context of entrepreneurial orientation. Entrepreneurship is more than skills acquisition. We may think of it in terms of soft and hard skills. It must also be defined as that of setting up, maybe, let me put it, a profitable business, because many businesses are not profitable. Entrepreneurship, therefore, is at the heart of the university's ability to be relevant, to fulfill its mandate, to contribute to nation building, and then to generate funds for its survival. If you know how much Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford make each year, from endowment, from research, from patent, from commercialization, is mind-blowing. They don't get government subvention. They survive on their own. And that is the vision of education in Nigeria. Therefore, it is a source of knowledge to be taught to both staff and students. May I remind you of Uber, which does not own one single taxi, yet is a global business and has driven yellow taxi, black taxi into extinction. Airbnb is not a hotel chain. It is flourishing. Several hotel chains have gone under, including those owned by people who have PG in hotel business. The scope of entrepreneurship includes ideation, conceptualization, prototyping, patenting, exploitation, and commercialization. However, like the rest of us, we do not see ourselves as entrepreneurs. Yet, our primary business is knowledge production. You know, we're an academic business. I'm here to teach, go to class and come back. No. Supposing our subvention from government is zero, how shall we survive? By selling handouts? By harassing students? By leaking exam results? By engaging in unwholesome practices? No. Each academic must see himself not as a business for his pocket, but as a businessman and a business. Look at all of us. By the time you have done 15 years, when the business, you probably be a senior manager somewhere, or a GM, an assistant director. Was that the way you run that business? I thought I may not be here because I'm supposed to be somewhere else, but I did this speak about 2 weeks ago. Each time I spoke to her, if I approached her, I really couldn't just return to answer country because of us. We thank you very much again. Our primary business is knowledge production, which we must turn to ethical business and use it to develop the nation. I believe this training will be of great help to us all. At the end of this training, we will have a larger pool of staff to help business development and teaching entrepreneurship courses and help us in generating funds by university. In closing, I would just to participate fully and to be present actively. There is a concept called presentism. You are there, your body is there, and your soul and spirit are somewhere else. So be present actively. One way you know that in church, now you say, then somebody praise the Lord or say hallelujah. Everybody has said their own. One person who just woke up and said, "He said hallelujah." One that now. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Let's take our time again. We have to listen to the citation of the eminent professor of air, Professor Arulogun Oyedunni, and that will be done by Dr. Emmanuel Aribike.
Good morning, Good morning, my distinguished colleagues. I'm here to take the profile of Professor Shola Arulogun. Professor Oyedunni Shola Arulogun is a foremost health promotion and education specialist with over 20 years of experience at the University of Ibadan. She has a broad background in speech pathology, audiology, and health promotion and education with specific training and expertise in speech rehabilitation after stroke, delayed speech development in children, qualitative studies and community engagement activities, capacity building and mentoring. She has carried out research using the mixed methods. As a trailblazer, she is the first female professor of health promotion and education and first female to become dean of the Faculty of Public Health, University of Ibadan. She has received training in addition to her basic academic degrees at the Margaret Sanger Institute, South Africa, London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, Galilee International Management Institute, Israel, and T.H. Chan School of Public Health, Boston, USA. Her research interests include reproductive health of adolescents with bias for disabled, gender, stroke studies, child survival strategies, tropical diseases, and health promotion through health system approach, all of which embrace community-based intervention to influence behavior change as well as creating supportive environment for small and medium enterprises. Professor Arulogun belongs to many professional bodies such as Speech Pathology and Audiology Association of Nigeria, International Union for Scientific Study of Population, and International Union for Health Promotion and Education. Professor Oyedunni Arulogun is a fellow, Research Society of Public Health, United Kingdom, fellow African Institute of Public Health, and fellow Institute of Classical Entrepreneurship, Nigeria. Professor Arulogun is an avid researcher of international repute. She has served as principal investigator co-principal investigator on several internally and externally funded projects and grants, including MacArthur Foundation, World Health Organization, Unilever, National Institute of Health, National Agency for Control of AIDS, World Bank, University of Ibadan Senate Research Grants, and Bill and Melinda Gates supported University of Ibadan Center for the Reproductive. She possesses excellent administrative, verbal communication, and writing skills, along with constructive and effective teaching methods that promote a stimulating learning environment. She is the chairperson of Oyo State Advisory Committee on Neglected Tropical Diseases till date. She assumed office as the director of the University of Ibadan Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation on May 28, 2019, for a term of 3 years. She was reappointed for a second term of three years, starting from May 20, 2022. In her tenure as the director, the Center of Entrepreneurship and Innovation has witnessed tremendous growth in infrastructure, value creation, and addition through capacity strengthening of social entrepreneurs. Most recently, on May 5th, 2023, she was appointed as the University Orator with effective from May 1st, 2023, for a period of 2 years. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ma, for the presentation, and thank you, sir, for inviting me. I met Professor Odusoya when he came for a sabbatical. People though I had heard about him, and he became very different. And a big brother, he's a wonderful counselor, and at that time there were issues, and he stood by me and said, "Don't worry, this time will pass." And I want to thank you, sir, because indeed that time has passed, and that your baby is now 5 years old. And I want to thank you, sir, for inviting us to come and share our wealth of experience with your staff at the Lasustech. When I was listening to your anthem, I said, everything we have come to do here is embedded in your anthem. Thank you very much, sir. And I was looking at my colleagues that we came from here together. When we got to Lasustech, in UIT, when we get to, we should also do A now. So when we get back home and we are singing our anthem in UIT, it's only the students who do the shouting. We too, we should also do some little action. So thank you very much for coming. I want to recognize everybody on my team, especially our pilot, Mr. Sojiola Dejo. Thank you very much. If it's not available, maybe we will not be here. Thank you very much. So I'll be sharing my thoughts briefly on what makes a university entrepreneurial. Your anthem has shown us why we need to do that. And when UI started the entrepreneurship program, it started as a program, like a committee. We called it Public-Private Partnership Committee. That was how we started, and gradually it metamorphosed into a center approved by the University Senate in 2008, and that is why we are where we are today. So this is my outline. We'll do some definitions. We'll look at some historic and current perspectives why we need to transform our universities into entrepreneurial universities. Then we'll look at what we need to put in place to achieve that, and then I'll conclude next. So why do we need it? We are in a world of disruptive technology. My phone fell on Friday, and I have not been the same since Friday, because it's like one half of my body is gone. And there are many things we are doing now. Vice Chancellor said Uber didn't own a single taxi, but is running that business all over the world. So we are in a disruptive technology. We can't do it like we used to do it before. In fact, we'll just be left behind. And we have different types of disruptive technology that I have tried to put there. Many of us no longer depend on NEPA anymore. So whether they give us light or they don't give us light, we don't bother anymore because we are all on solar. And so our whole world is changing so rapidly that we need to be able to match that change as it were. Next slide. We also need to be entrepreneurial because poverty is in the land. As at 9:08 p.m. yesterday, this is Nigeria's poverty club. You can see Nigeria in red. All the countries you find in red there are countries where poverty is rising. So Nigeria belongs to where poverty is rising. Over 69 million Nigerians are living under poverty level. That is, they are surviving on less than $1 a day. And if we are going to turn that around, we need to think differently. We need to do things differently. We expect that 3 people would escape that poverty section per minute. But in Nigeria, minus 2.9 people are escaping. I don't know whether that is them. It means nobody is escaping. Rather, more people are coming into that segment. And that is why we need to change our focus as the bedrock of knowledge, where we train the future workforce. Next slide. So you can see all the countries with rising poverty. You can see most of them are in Africa, where we reside. Next slide. So when that is what we have, there is no money. Now everybody is complaining, you can't get more than 10,000 in the bank. And the question is, so how do I have access to my money? I had to ask one of my friends who work in the bank. I said, why is it that we can't see money again? He said, people are no longer bringing money into the banks because they don't trust CBN, they don't trust Supreme Court, that nobody wants to experience another Emefiele regime. Fear of tomorrow. Clean water. All of these are what we find in poverty situation, and the university is where we can get the deliverance that we are looking for. Not outside the country, but within the country. And so, I usually say that we are in what I call the boiling frog syndrome. What does the boiling frog syndrome mean? You know, if water is boiling and you throw the frog will jump out. But the frog started in a very cold water. And so we're increasing the heat gradually, and the frog is adjusting. And that is what Nigerians are doing. We keep adjusting. And we say, oh, we have a long elasticity. So we keep adjusting. The frog keeps adjusting until the frog dies in that water. And so this is where we are as a nation. We keep adjusting. Oh, rice is expensive, we change to yam. Yam is expensive, we change to banana. So we keep changing and keep adjusting. Meanwhile, the heat is increasing. And the normal thing for anybody to do is what? What should a normal person do? Is to jump out. Next slide. The normal thing is to jump out. But we are not jumping out. And the whole essence of this training and the Vice Chancellor's vision is for us to be able to jump out when we still have the capacity to do so. And that is why we are all here. The capacity is in our hands, is in our minds, to be able to build a future generation to jump out of that boiling water before we all roast and just end up in that pot of boiling water. Yes. So how do we do this? We need to begin to see things in a different light. We need to tell ourselves that it's no longer business as usual. When I finished my first degree, nobody will look for job because the jobs are there anyway. And then my very first job, I got it. A friend of mine said, one of our former teachers said I should apply. And I said, so reluctantly I applied. And I got to establishment, that was in usage, 1989. The establishment said, we don't have vacancy. Go and talk to the head of the department. And I told myself, who is looking for job anyway? So I was on my way home. Then I met my elder sister's friend, senior in secondary school, did youth service together. And she said, what have you come to do? I said, I came to submit application and they said I should go and talk to the head of bank. And she said, where are you going? I said, I'm going home. She said, go back and talk to the head of the bank. So I went back and I saw the head of the bank and I said, yes, what have you? And I told you. When I got that day, that same month. And that was when the head of the department can write and say, I need this person, and then the job, get the job. Now is that the situation today? Maybe it's different in Lagos State. Our own Vice Chancellor has to go to Abuja like 10 times before they give them some slots. So if somebody says, come and get job, and you say, I don't need job, you're on your own. Times are changing. Things are different. So we need to see things in a different light. I want to talk about entrepreneurship. We know that not everybody can start a business. But we can all be entrepreneurial in what we do. And how can we be entrepreneurial in what we do? Why do we think students want a particular lecturer to be their supervisor? Everybody wants a particular person to supervise them. It means that person is doing something different. Why do everybody want to see a particular doctor? Oh, come and see this. No, I'd rather wait until this person. It means that doctor is doing something that is different, is adding value. Why would some pharmacies be getting a lot of people and some pharmacies will just be there and we almost turn the pharmacy shop to something else? It's because there's a value that is being added. And so we need to see things in a different light. How can I be a different lecturer? How can I teach differently? That I know that when students leave my class, they are no longer the same. That a value has been dropped in their lives. We need to be able to ask our students, because they are our primary garden that we are cultivating. We need to be able to ask ourselves, what we are teaching, are we preparing our students to be good citizens and global leaders that we are looking at? We were coming this morning, we saw a young guy with, the recent trend of dreadlock, and I said, don't they look into the mirror? That sometimes those people that we even refer to as mad, their hair is neater than the ones we are seeing. And I said, what is this problem for God's sake? And many times I asked them, did you look into the mirror this morning? So we need to begin to ask ourselves, are we breeding leaders of tomorrow? And what leaders of tomorrow are we breeding? We should ask ourselves, our students, when they graduate, are they the type of leaders that the world needs? Are they the kind of leaders who can make decisions based on just not on spreadsheet, but in a truly volatile way, that they can think before they take decisions, that they don't just, oh, this is the trend elsewhere, and we just invite the trend without asking, is this what we need? I usually cast a joke that Nigeria is not yet ripe for full democracy. We needed to have thought very well and fashion out our own type of governance structure. What Nigeria needs is hybrid of military and democracy, not full democracy. And how do I know? In a traffic grid, if a madman stands and raises up his hand, all of us will obey the madman. So that tells me that we are not yet ripe for full democracy. We still need a little force to push us. So we should train our students to think outside the box. Will they be leaders who will think outside the box to solve our problems that have been highlighted by our university and them? Next slide, please. I'm not seeing the slide. Next slide. So, what is the pathway to achieving this? Transforming a university into an entrepreneurial hub involves strategic planning, collaborative efforts, and a commitment to foster an environment conducive to innovation and entrepreneurship. So we don't just wake up one day and say, yes, our university is entrepreneurial. It requires planning. And so let's see how we'll go on that journey. Next slide. Now the starting point is for us to assess our current situation. Where are we right now? So if we assess our current situation, then we will set a vision that will take us on that journey. Without a vision, we are not on any journey. After that, we go to the next step: leadership and commitment. Thank God we have a leader in Lasustech who is committed to turning the university around. And one of the challenges is that we don't have continuity in governance. He is the Vice Chancellor today. He is driving this. When he leaves the seat of the Vice Chancellor, will it continue? It's a problem, it's a challenge. But we need to assess ourselves, we need to have a vision, and then we need leadership who is committed to that vision. The next thing is curriculum development. Our existing curriculum, will it deliver our vision? LUC just gave us CCMAS, and I know there's a lot of confusion as far as the CCMAS is concerned. I know that in the CCMAS, some departments in my university, what they are asking the students to do at 400 level, right now the students already know them in 100 level. So you are not saying they should wait until 400 level. Or sometimes by the time they graduate, those basic things that they knew, they won't know it if we follow the new curriculum. So we need to continue to interrogate what we have on our hands. We need a sound curriculum that would infuse entrepreneurship, innovation in every of the disciplines on campus. The next thing is to establish entrepreneurial programs and resources. It's one thing to say, yes, we want to be an entrepreneurial university, and then we don't have what it takes. The Yorubas will say, "Ẹyẹ ò kí ń fapá kan fò." One hand is the curriculum, the other hand are the resources. So if you have the curriculum and there are no resources, ẹyẹ yẹn ò ní fò, ojú kan ló máa wà. You just try and fly, but you know it will feel like this. It will never take off from the ground. After that, we need industry partnerships and collaboration. Fortunately, you are in between core Lagos and Ogun State. This is Ikorodu, so you have a lot of factories around you. This is important for the practicals of our students because they need to go into the industry for their practicals. It's important so that we will be solving real problems. One of the challenges why our research don't make an impact is because the industry is on this side, researchers are on this side, and we don't talk to each other. So to be an entrepreneurial university, we need to talk to the industry so that we can solve the problem of industry. Earlier in the year, I was at the National Space Agency for demo of what students are doing. And students have developed drones, and they flew the drone round NASA and recording the whole activity. And then I asked myself, why are we saying we can't see the inside of Zambisa forest? I keep asking myself, these are the resources that we need. Are we talking to the industry? Or maybe the issue is, are we ready for change? So the resources are with us. We need to talk to the industry for partnership. And VC has said it. The university does not have all the resources, but the industry can support us. We reach out to back of industry, they will give you material, they will give you equipment, they will sponsor your activities. NEPC, that's the National Export Promotion Council, is on their site. You can access funds there. You don't need to know anybody. Our greatest funding support came from the National Export Promotion Council. We got 50 million naira from them. So every infrastructure you see in Ibadan came from that fund. And we didn't know anybody. Even though we got a link person, that's why collaboration is important. And that young man, when I became the director, I went on main campus because our center is off campus. So I saw, I saw that building. They just put innovation hub. So I went in there and I said, who is in charge of this place? And the young man came out and I said, how can UI have innovation hub and CEI does not know? Sir, please don't do the mistake of UI. In UI, there are parallel things. Everybody is doing the same thing, but we don't know. And I said, how can this innovation hub be in UI and CEI is not aware? So I connected his number and we got talking. And so one day he just called me and said, Ma, if you get 50 million naira now, what will you do with it? It's like, yeah, 50 million. So I called CEO, I called them, I said, somebody just called me. I don't know whether this is real or not, but he said we should submit proposal today. He called me around 10 a.m. and said, submit proposal today. So we got working and we submitted that proposal 4 a.m. He saw it and said, oh, I'm sorry, ma, for putting you under pressure. Detailed proposal. The rest is history. In fact, 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, I said, ma, have you checked your mail? I said, not in the last 10 minutes. He said, check your mail. I opened my mail, I saw letter of award. It was like miracle. And so we need to reach out. Sometimes, thank you very much. Sometimes we need to bend backwards. To be an entrepreneurial university, we don't look down on anybody because you don't know who has the link that you are looking for. I learned that from our students because in our department we run an all postgraduate program. So when they just come in and you think you are just dealing with a student, you are on your own. You don't know where the link that you are looking for is. And so we need to be good to our students because we have like reached our destination whether we like it or not. But those ones are still rising. There is a Yoruba adage that says, "Ọwọ́ ọmọdé ò tó pẹpẹ, tàgbàlagbà ọwọ́ kèrègbè," which means if the child wants to take something up, he needs an adult's hand. And if an adult wants to pick something inside a gourd, he needs the hand of a child. And that is the beauty of collaboration. We need to collaborate. We need to partner. No collaboration is small. Sometimes just saying good morning to somebody you have met in an organization before is important. Because if there's something on that person's table, the first person you will remember is the person that is always saying good morning. After that, we need research and innovation support. We should encourage our students to do research that will solve a problem and not just do research for the sake of research. And we should support them to carry out those researches. We need community engagement and support. We cannot be an entrepreneurial university in isolation. We need our immediate environment. And our immediate environment is our laboratory. There are many small, medium enterprises around us that we can use as our guinea pig labs to try out the startups of our students to solve problems that can bring about a change. After that, when our students begin to have startups, as an entrepreneurial university, we need to support those startups. What we have done in UI is to encourage them and expose them to opportunities. Recently, and that is where collaboration is important. When I went to NASDAQ, I met another young man from another organization, and he said they have this funding from GIZ and they want to collaborate with UI, but they have issues with UI. And I said, what's the issue? They said bureaucracy. That if you get a letter from UI, it's like passing through the eye of a needle. And I said, what do you need? He said, a letter. I said, when I get back home, I get to that letter in maximum 48 hours. He didn't believe it. I got them the letter. Our students got enrolled. They worked with them for 6 weeks at our center. They had a demo here in Lagos. 5 teams started, 3 teams sailed through. The 3 teams were in Berlin with me. to meet other people, and by February they are going to Kenya for their final demo, and if they win, each team gets $5,000 each. The university cannot provide that funding, but we can provide the leverage for them to do that. And that is why collaboration is important. We also have our student who has gone to Switzerland on his startups through partnerships that we have. And that is how we can support our student startups. Let's encourage them. We can run short competitions in-house. It may not be big money, but just showing that a certificate of award goes a long way to say and they will brandish it everywhere. Yes, my startup won 2024 student startup of the year. We need to do that. After that, we need to have cultural shift and recognition. We are from a cultural background, and we cannot remove ourselves from our culture. And so everything we do, we need to have that behind our mind. Because whatever innovation we have that is at variance with our culture, with our beliefs, will not fly. And so we need to always have that with our community engagement activities. And as we embark on this journey, we need continuous evaluation. Now we have started, we have a vision, we have a leadership that is committed, we have CCMAs that have been handed over to us. We are supposed to add our 30%. So we need, in adding our 30%, have entrepreneurship behind our mind. Now, as we are going on that journey, we need to do continuous evaluation. When we started, what is our vision? What are the indicators that we set for success? Did we achieve this? If no, why? And then we go back to our drawing board. And if we are able to follow this pathway, we will get to our eureka. Your anthem says University of Excellence, and that is your eureka. And what can take the university to that eureka is entrepreneurship and innovation, following this pathway. And so as we round off, transforming university to entrepreneurial institution is an ongoing process that requires collaboration, dedication, and a long-term commitment to nurturing an environment where creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship can thrive. You know, many times, many of us who attest to it, many of us would have been great entrepreneurs today. But when we started, what did our parents tell us? Did they not tell us that? But you see, in other countries, once they see that, they will nurture that child to grow in thought. When we were growing, in fact, we are not even supposed to talk. A child is supposed to be seen and not heard. That was the culture where we grew up from. Some of the questions that our children are asking us today are dope. You are quite holy. In fact, when our mothers will look at us like this, that's whoever I mean, love that. Love that. You know, Yoruba, I love Yoruba language. Love that. Oh, yeah, to see love that. You know, it's a lot different. Love that. Love that. So if you interpret love that, you are on your own. we are in an age where your child will look up to you and say things that you never ever said to your parents. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and one day, I really God knows, she just looked up to her dad and said, "Daddy, are you treating mommy well?" I almost, she said, if not that he knew his daughter that she can ask any question. You know that question can scatter the home. You say, "Oh, for us, and I had to negotiate with her to say, "I'm traveling." But anytime she sees box, she says, "Mommy, are you going again?" So she has grown up to know that mommy is always going. So, but mommy on Sunday, that "Mommy, are you traveling again?" I said, "No, not yet." So from last week I started engaging. I'm going to travel again for 3 days. She said, "No, you can only go for 1 day." I said, "Yes, ma'am." So I thought she has forgotten. By Friday, I said, "You know I'm traveling on Monday and I'm spending 2 days." She said, "No, 1 day." This morning, I had video call with her. And she said, "Mommy, should be 1 day has passed." Fortunately, she counted today as part of the 1 day. And she said, "Shebi, you are coming tomorrow?" I said, "Yes." And that is the generation we have today. And so, if we now use how they brought us up to treat a generation like that, we are failing. And that is why sometimes we think those children are recalcitrant. It's because the way they think is far beyond our own. Is it their fault? No, it is our fault because we are the ones that gave them all the cartoons of the world. Abi, we are the ones buying all the cartoons, all the Mr. Pig, Peppa Pig, all the Coco Melon, so they all go. First, when she says something, I say, "Where did you hear this one from?" And then I ask her the meaning, and she tells me. I say, "Opari." So we need to change our mindset. We need to change our outlook. We need to be on our toes because our students will ask us questions. In those days, we didn't have access to Google. Now they would have gone to Google what you are going to teach them. And then you teacher, old school, you are not internet savvy. They will come and ask you questions. I'm not ashamed to tell them I don't know. When they ask me such questions, I say, "I'm sorry, I don't know, but I will find out." That saves me a lot of problems. If I try to answer, they will tell behind the. We also did it to our teacher. We were in 100 level, 200 level. You know, she would come to the class and you can't talk. One day she said we made a lot of noise and that she wasn't, only 2 lectures in the whole semester. She said she wasn't coming to teach us again. We said, "No," because we found the book where she was copying the lectures from. So we didn't miss her. It was the people who told us, "We better go and better." I said, "You don't need to better now. We already know where the note is." So because we also did it now, so our students will do worse to us. And so we need to be on our toes. And we need to be honest and open to say, "I don't know." If they ask us some questions, "I don't know," we'll go. And so sometimes there's a particular course that I teach differently. I didn't set out to use that method. It was the method that I adopted as a matter of necessity at that time. So I just said I needed to find another way to teach this course. So I made up my mind, the students will do the teaching and I will sit down. So the first class, I gave them the course content. I said, distribute it among yourself. Come and teach it the way you like. You can use drama, you can use song, anything. I will be at the back and be the student. And that has always been the best class every year. Because sometimes I will hear some terminologies that I've never heard before. Then I would have to go and check to say, what is this terminology? And many of them will come, they will design videos themselves, drama, and all of that. So our students have a lot of potentials, and we need to help them bring out the potentials. Yes, sir. So an entrepreneurial university embodies a culture, mindset, and infrastructure that actively supports and encourages innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship among its students, faculty, and staff. Thank you very much.
I'm sure we can do better. Thank you very much. Thank you. What else is there to say? You can see those of us in the health sector, we are great people. Alright, so Master Rogeri, also engineer. Alright. So we want to thank you very much. We have council meeting in another 60 minutes, so I need to go that way. It's multitasking, that's the job of the Vice Chancellor. I have several things to say today, but we want to thank you, especially Ananos, because okay, I think we saw in Abuja. She came to present at VC, and I said, how are you? What are you doing? She said she's director, so I said, you. What's a party? Since we've been very good friends. So you never know where you will be tomorrow. When I went to Ibadan, today that was spoken to many years of relationship. 7 years ago, everywhere at the top of her, she's been dean, and they give a lot of trouble, but I will tell her, don't worry, we will do it. And thank you very much. And thank all the team for coming. Please, all team with Prof, please write recognition for the faculty member one. So we'd like to thank you for coming. We'll go to the next one.
Thank you, sir. Professor. Thank you, sir. We move to the next item on the program, and that is the first plenary lecture. Dr. J.J. Momo, please come around to take the citation.
I have the directive of the Vice Chancellor to call on Mr. Abayomi Adeyinka Akinola. Please, Mr. Akinola, please remain standing as I read this citation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Abayomi Adeyinka Akinola. He is an entrepreneurship and employable trainer and consultant and the program manager at University of Ibadan, Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Bodija, Ibadan. He is the chief entrepreneur and chairman of board of advisors, First Most Educational Training Limited, Ibadan, and First Sports College of Technical and Vocational Entrepreneurship. Mr. Akinola is an external lecturer in entrepreneurship at Ibadan. He has over 23 years of teaching experience in tertiary education and professional training institute. Mr. Akinola holds a B Engineering in Electrical Electronic Engineering from Ondo State University, Ado Ekiti, now Ekiti State University, Ado Ekiti, in 1999. An MSc in Entrepreneurship from University of Ibadan in 2022, and a postgraduate certificate in Management Practice and Business Transformation from the University of Ibadan Consultancy Service, 2016. He attended a 2-week advanced entrepreneurship program organized by the University of Ibadan Consultancy Service in 2020. He acquired a certificate of completion of a 12 weeks entrepreneurship development training from the Central Bank of Nigeria Entrepreneurship Development Center, Ibadan, in 2017. He also successfully participated in a week business startup training program organized by the National Directorate of Entrepreneur in Ado Ekiti in 2001. Mr. Akinola is a academic whose areas of interest in entrepreneurship studies, practice in entrepreneurship development, startup entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial business and social entrepreneurship. He co-authored a paper in 2021, Impact of Coronavirus Disease on Entrepreneurial Business to Small Business in Ibadan. The paper was published in African Journal of Science and Nature, and authored a book in 2005, Road Accidents in Nigeria, Cases, Causes and Control, published by D&G International Limited, Osogbo. Mr. Abayomi Adeyinka Akinola is a corporate member of Nigerian Society of Engineers. He has a vocation for teaching and training that empowered young people. To the glory of God, he is happily married with children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Mr. Abayomi Adeyinka.
Vice Chancellor in absentia, my director, Professor Oyetunde, as director of University of Ibadan Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, my prof, who is here, Professor Bambi, my mentor, and my entrepreneurship teacher. Thank you so much. Then my yoga from the center, from UI Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. I have to mention your name and all of you. Then my colleagues, we are here for business. And that business is business of entrepreneurship training. So I brought my teaching is supposed to be theoretical, but I want to go practical. And I want to start from to recognize what I have inside this office. Can anyone help us? If you are sure you know what is inside this office. Anybody? Is that? It looks like. Use the word looks like. Fantastic. Any other way to describe what we have inside? Is that? It's water. Liquid. That's big. That's now it is in our business, not in our lives. It is dangerous to us. And when we want to start businesses, we don't have enough information. We have limited information. Because some of the time we don't have information. We ideas, we see an opportunity, and we want to start that business. So we don't have enough information. In fact, at times we don't have enough resources. So at the level of starting a business, we don't have adequate information and we don't have adequate resources. Now, this is Sprite inside. We couldn't have yet that Sprite will be inside. So in starting a business, you don't I like the man that answer it looks like. Now it's treated an assumption as an assumption. So in your business, or you are teaching students to start up businesses, you have to let them know when they are starting their businesses, they should not treat assumption as fact. They should know that when they are starting that business, they do not have adequate information. Even if you have done the best marketing research, you are still not sure because you are not the customer. It is the customer that will determine whether that business will succeed or not. And the only way to know is when you start the business. When you are starting the startup is different from the traditional business. If what we want to teach our students is how to start selling pure water traditionally, you don't have to be here. There will be point coming here. Our mothers did it. But where are their businesses? In Nigeria, there is research that we are trying to find out any indigenous business that has spent 100 years. The only one I read is Alabaku. So does it mean our grandparents didn't do businesses? What happened to their businesses? It is lack of knowledge. And most of the time, we tend to focus on the vocational side of our business, leaving the entrepreneurial side. I did an informal research within UI among graduates doing business inside UI. And about 90% of them do not have, what do you call it now, account. I asked the person, how long have you been doing this business for like 10 years? So where do you keep your financial records? He said, oh, do I want to present it to? So how do you determine your gain? He said, if I'm not be making gain, I won't be in business. That's how you. You have business for 10 years, no record. Now if tomorrow the vice chancellor says you want to give grant, you won't give grant to somebody who does not have financial problem. Are we together? So these are fundamental to start up business. Now, so my topic is understanding contemporary entrepreneurship and university entrepreneurship education. When we talk of contemporary, we are talking of now. We can't afford to do business the way our grandparents did it. Like my director said, things have changed. People who ask you questions now. In fact, jokingly I used to say, if Dangote is to start his business today, he won't name it Dangote. The children of today will ask questions. But then that was the end thing. But today you can't see global brand have to name you about the owner. But that was when this Benz under were the owners then. So time has changed. The way we are doing business is there. You cannot afford to do business now if you want the business to outlive you. Or if you want the business to grow. So what are we here for today? We want to know where does that term entrepreneurship, very big grammar, where does it come from? The meaning of entrepreneurship. At times we have turned entrepreneurship into a meaningless word. We brand it around. Some people say if you are selling a car on the spot for 10 years and an entrepreneur and laugh. If that's the purpose, then there's no point teaching entrepreneurship as a course. Then what is the process of entrepreneurship? These are things we want to interrogate in the course of the next slide. So, most of us will agree with me that the two terms, entrepreneurship and entrepreneur, are English words. But the first word that appeared was entrepreneur. And it was borrowed from French word. Even the word French there was borrowed from Latin. So it's a long story. But we just have to understand that in fact there is in some part of the literature they will tell you that entrepreneur does not have English meaning. Because there are confusion about what the two terms actually mean when you hear the word entrepreneur. So there's a good argument in the literature. Who coined the word entrepreneur? There are three streams of thought. Some says the Spanish man, Thomas de Maseco, that first used the word in 1569. But that's strange. When I saw that in the book, I said, wow, see this for the first time. But that book was written by a professor. But the common one that we know is that entrepreneur was coined by Richard Cantillon. In a book he wrote, but he didn't publish before he died. And the book was published posthumously. Now, but somebody like Peter Drucker, who people even see as as part of modern entrepreneurship and management, argued in his own book that the word was coined by Davidson. But we are not really, I won't bother ourselves about this when we go to the practical side. But you may want to teach your students, and your students can ask some of these questions in class. What's the meaning of entrepreneur? Where did it come from? That's the purpose of trying to tell us where the word entrepreneur. And so when it became the common usage in academic word, then you now find entrepreneurship. Originally, entrepreneurship actually means your ability to undertake a business successfully. But the first meaning, Africanized meaning of entrepreneur is to undertake. It could be anything. Initially, the synonym of entrepreneur was undertaker. But because undertakers were now used for those who do burial, the job that. You can check, through the picture, they will explain some of this. Now, I've mentioned some 3 names now. One of the 3 names I've mentioned are white numbers. All of them. In fact, after KBC, we have Joseph Schumpeter, who brought innovation to entrepreneurship. And since Schumpeter brought innovation to entrepreneurship, innovation has stayed. And that is why you cannot claim you are practicing entrepreneurship or that you are an entrepreneur if you are not innovating. Innovating does not mean you are inventing something new from heaven. It could be doing old business in a new way. Just introducing something new, something unique. Maybe it could be even ethical. It may mean you are doing ethical business. It may mean you are a fashion designer. Won't tell your customer your clothes will be ready tomorrow and it will be ready. And somebody is living in an environment like where you don't have reliable custom and fashion designer. You don't want to use the if you have anything on here. Like that what they do. So you have to define what is unique to your business. If you are doing business like every other person, it is called me too business. You are not practicing entrepreneurship. You know, my friend is doing pure water, is making it. And I want to start pure water. That's not entrepreneurship. And that is one of the disadvantages about teaching our students at tertiary college vocational skill in the name of entrepreneurship. I think we missed it up here. When you teach me shoemaking, and I start shoemaking without introducing anything innovative, I'm doing me to business, not entrepreneurial business. We have to understand this. And like my director said, the whole essence of entrepreneurship is opening up your mind to see innovation, to explore innovation and to exploit. Even the vice chancellor must be an entrepreneurship teacher. I have not been so many things like that. What's the purpose of? It's not about your hand. He said, and I quote, is that acquiring skill does not necessarily mean that you want to become a mechanic. You can have any business where you don't have vocational skill. So most of the time we have to understand these concepts very well, that entrepreneurship is more of soft skill and has skill in terms of business function, accounting, marketing, sales, operation, and so on. That's the market, those are the technical skills or hard skills in entrepreneurship. So after all of them, I discovered Joseph Schumpeter, who also was an economist. After him, I think about 12 economists has different theories around entrepreneurship. But Dr. K, who happened to be initially a lawyer, he had PhD in law, but he started teaching management and entrepreneurship. And he had it. This entrepreneurship we are talking about, yes, it started from economic sphere, but I think we can put it out beyond business. We can apply, if I use some universities in Germany, that they are practicing entrepreneurship even though they are not making money. And that is the only thing of what we call social entrepreneurship. Drucker theorized that in 1985 in his book, that we should not limit entrepreneurship to business activities alone. That any serious activity taken by human being can be entrepreneurial. And you had my director say that even as lecturers, you can choose to be entrepreneurial towards your students. You can be adding some value. And that is why students that have emotional problem will feel free to come to some lecturer and go to another. Because they know you have some value to their life beyond teaching the YDX. Not if I mentioned the YDX, So since Drucker pull out entrepreneurship as it were from business activity, people who are not economists started talking about entrepreneurship. Now we have psychologists, sociologists, lawyers, everybody talking about entrepreneurship. It's no longer an economic thing alone. It's for everybody. And all of us can choose to be entrepreneurial in our profession. Please, next slide. Okay, let me read the last line here. Contemporary research is broadening the horizon of the horizon for studying entrepreneurship education as a process. There are so many perspectives to teaching entrepreneurship, but I think the easiest one is teaching it as a process. Of course, you can teach it as an output or like they talk about how, why, and what of entrepreneurship. But the easiest one is what happens? You have a good job offer, or you choose to start your business. What happens? Why did you choose to have? Because if you have a paid job, good one, it's less risk. But if you choose to go entrepreneurial, you want to start your own business, you are taking a risk. And of course, the Richard Cantonons told us that entrepreneurs are risk takers. But I don't like that again because every human being is a risk taker. If you ask me the greatest risk taker in Nigeria today, now are the couples. The way the couples are killing themselves in Nigeria, they are taking risks. But I've never seen anybody telling a couple that you're a risk taker. I've never seen anybody telling a pilot that you're a risk taker. That you leave your house and have a car in Nigeria, you are taking risks. So entrepreneurs do not have the monopoly of risk taking. Every human being, whatever is good that you are doing, means you are a risk taker. God forbid that we are here, we are taking this thing can collapse on all of us. God forbid that. So we are all taking risks. So don't let us limit risk taking. Even lots of what I've worked, I have seen friends who lost job on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve in bank. So if you are a worker, you have just transferred your risk taking to somebody else. I can't fact you anything. You can't lose your job anything. So I'm not saying entrepreneur is not risk taking. All of us, in all our professions, we are taking risk. So what is entrepreneurship? There are lots of definitions. If you Google what is entrepreneurship now, you'll be amazed the number of definitions. Funnily, my wife too has MSc in entrepreneurship. During our project, she was made to compile so many definitions of entrepreneurship from one life. Wow. So, in fact, somebody said that the number of definitions you see is the number of books you have access to. That you are likely to see different definitions from different books. But all of these definitions have some thematic topics that are common to all of them. For example, now all of them are trying to build entrepreneurship around innovation. Around opportunity for innovation. Do you have opportunity? Can you innovate? Now, and there are 3 steps in that process. The first one is you perceive opportunities. And let me quickly say this. Entrepreneurship is not 2 plus difficult. It's not the idea is equal to. The way you see things might be different from the way I see. Drucker took after Schumpeter. They have great disagreements on who an entrepreneur is. So Schumpeter creates opportunity. You create change that leads to opportunity. That's the Schumpeter. But Drucker will say, no, the opportunity is there. Yours is just to find it. Are we getting it now? And one of the things Dr. said in his book in 1984 is happening in Nigeria. Most states in Nigeria, governors always like to cite university in their town. Can anybody tell us why? It is to bring population to their town, to increase the economy of their town. We have done that research. But Dr. said that when you have population surge in a new area, there are new opportunities. Today, my town in Egisi doesn't have a university. So if you open a what we call it, a any business in my town, you are on your own. But if you cite a university there tomorrow, you can be sure that there will be opportunity to do business. You cannot go and build hostels and so that's the problem. And Dr. said demographic shift from one place to the other. It took way we have new opportunities. But Dr. sometimes is actually. So entrepreneurship is not about the why, yes, or 2 + 2 is equal to 4 that you can do. Can somebody tell us the biggest animal we know in this world? That we can all, the biggest animal that we can all relate with? Elephant, right? So let's agree. I've not seen one live, but we all see television and the Let us assume I've not seen one live. Let us assume that we bring one elephant here. We can imagine how big an elephant is. And those of us that are on the outside here, maybe it's facing us. It's backing people here. The people here and that people, those people there will see the size. If we are given a sheet of paper here to describe what we see, my organ here, maybe he's seeing the tail, and I'm seeing the head, maybe I'm even seeing the nose. My description of elephant will be different from what he will describe. But we are talking about the same thing. That is entrepreneurship. And that is why there is no agreement about what really constitutes entrepreneurship. Because people see it differently. In fact, most people see it from their own perspective, from their own professional background. The way economists will see, a typical economist will see entrepreneurship as just one factor of production. That's all. Because that's what is taught. A sociology will relate opportunities to society and to humanity. So people, and that is what see today, there is no common definition of entrepreneurship. In fact, most of the time when I teach entrepreneurship, I force my students to theorize one definition in class. As long as you can explain it, and there are common things in our definition. So we have different definitions there. Sorry, go back. Okay, go back. Two slides before. No, the other one. Yes, here. We have shopkeeper definition is here. We have Peter Drucker here. We have services definition. And yes, I think yes, 4 of them. And if you look at all the definitions there, the word opportunity appears. That is the common thing now in contemporary study of entrepreneurship. Opportunity for innovation. It must exist before you can really say you are practicing entrepreneurship. Next one. Yes. So I want to read this about theory. Because it's another argument in most classes. Now, is there a theory of entrepreneurship? Let me read the first statement. Entrepreneurship is nurtured by a diversity of streams of thought with different origins, and the approach of entrepreneurship opportunity aims to build a new inclusive paradigm, sometimes called a general theory of economics. That's qualified. It is not a general thing yet, but there is, great debate in literature that we want to actually say entrepreneurship is all around opportunity. Please, if you have Bible and a sheet, please help me to write this word. It's the longest word I have seen, and the less very long. Are we there? Zero. It's very long, just write it like small. I want to dictate, I want to spell the word. 0, yes, double P, 0 R, yes, TU, NI, TY. Are we there, please? TYIS. It's one word. Don't be writing. IS N-O, sorry, N0, I think they used to say. N0, W-H, E-R-E, T-O, T0, like it, B-E, B-E, F0, U-N-D. That's the meaningless, it looks like the meaningless cabinet. I mean, and so long. There are some statements we can make out of that word. Please can we send because I mean
opportunity is nowhere to be found.
Can we hear him? Can we hear his statement? He said opportunity is nowhere to be found. Correct to that statement. Hello, sir. Did you see another thing there?
Yes. Opportunity is now here.
Are you listening to the two? From two statements, you can make 2 minutes. Opportunity is nowhere to be found. Opportunity is now there. Both are correct, but they don't have the same meaning. And what it says is to say that what you see is what you get. So, for your students, most of them, when you start teaching them entrepreneurship, they will decide that there are no business opportunities around all. Please tell them they don't know what they are saying. Give them facts. But what if you go to class, give them facts. Young people that are making it genuine yet ethically, that you can spread and bring them to class. All these people will tell you, no, you can't do business in Nigeria to associate. No, the opportunities are here for both businesses and for paid job. 2 months ago, I know of a guy who lost job in Google, Nigeria. And it was not funny, he was about to get married. A life story. And you can imagine you want to get married and you lose your job. You will balance. Shall we have a but a month after the guy lost job in Google, he got job in Shell. And some people will say there are no jobs. How did the guy get job? The guy did wedding last weekend. I was supposed to be there because of the thing that they have. So he's a guy I know very well. So jobs are here. And we should not deceive ourselves. If you talk from people there, and you put on Sean Peter, JPC, drop out of them, Stevenson, and my directors, put them on their head. They can't do business and succeed. We are made for this, we are wired for different things. And for me, I don't want everybody to become a because who will I ignore? Everybody become a so, opportunities for businesses are here. I'd like to share a story from you. A lady got admission directly into part 2, was one of the hostels, and was on Friday, Saturday, he said she'll be hearing people shout, who is going to put in the market? I need someone to help me buy it. This girl said, from one local area, she said she'll be wondering, and people be asking, others, can they go to put the market, just control from you? And the girl now said, currently you are going, bring your money. He said, no, please, let me ask you a question. Why are you sending me or others pepper? You want to put pepper to market. Why can't you go to the market yourself? And you say, I've never been to marketing like that. Or you say, I can't check. Some people say, but some people get mouth. If you try that, thing, it's going to yap you. I can't withstand it. Different reasons. Now, the lady said, she did that first semester. She said, second semester, she decided she won't tell anybody that she's going to the market. She go to the market, buy all the ingredients, buy them, and come to the hostel to start selling. And she started selling. But any day she doesn't finish what she has made, it will become waste. Somebody advised her, there are kitchen in every hostel, talk to the people there now, they can help you keep what you have planted. Now, once that thing frozen up, the second day she can't sell easily. He said the woman asked her, go and buy small container, put them inside, so you can just be selling instead of using spoon. So it's okay. So put a long story short. Today, when we were coming to the lady was looking and looking, before December. By the time the lady graduated, she refused, in fact she has become a brand selling pepper. Blended pepper inside UI. She marketed with selling seasoning and even selling soup for those who don't know how to cook food. Went to buy bicycle and she was selling all of these things inside UI. By before she graduated, she was already good money and a brand. Up to the level that when she was supposed to go and start, she said, I can't leave my business. What's the purpose of NYC? Though later, 5 years after she changed her mind, she went for NYC. But in 2019, this lady said forever she has always been applying since President Lula started SME Award, Presidential Award for SME. In 2019, she was the best in Nigeria. She was given an SUP new by President Buhari. During the, what they call it now, the patent ceremony, we did that. The former Vice Chancellor of Professor Online told us that, and some millions of naira, but I don't want to tell lecturers so that you don't go and be asking the girl for. But I later asked the girl, I don't know what you do, said 2.5 million. Somebody started selling paper. Opportunities are everywhere. Business opportunities are everywhere. What we need to do, what we need to help our students is to open up their minds to see. You don't need to teach them how to grind pepper before they will understand. Are we following what I'm saying? They are saying, if you Google, what they call it now, coconut, fufu, coconut tamala, it's not like a lady finished service in Delta and realized that everywhere she went to NYC and she said she attended training by UI, entrepreneurship training, how to support opportunity. She after NYC, she returned to their village in Delta. And all she was seeing was a coconut, which is in abundance. And she said, she started finding out, how can we add value to this coconut that is wasteful? Now the lady has today about 10 products from coconut. I have the picture. Number one, when you break coconut, you know the outer part is brownish. She made that to wheat flour. If you eat it, well, I've never eaten it, I know people eat it in the market. I don't does it anything anyway. Now, if you eat that one, it looks purely like wheat. The inside, which is whitish, is like, she called it coconut. Now, if you blend the two together, she's a man. And she's dining. Who taught her this? But somebody taught her how to open up mind to see opportunity. This is entrepreneurship. This is not where you just say you are doing shoemaking like the way you are doing it, all of us, you are in a row, all of us. No, we say the same thing in Nigeria. Once my friend is doing it and is making money, the next business, that's my next business. That's me too business, that's not. Next one. No. Yes. These are principles of successful entrepreneurship. Time will not allow me to explain them one by one. Now, this principle alone is a full 3-hour lecture in UI for our short training. My director, I thought he would mention our short training program. In UI, beyond the compulsory courses we give to all our students, we have short programs for the public. About 10 of them, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to teach them to people who are job, especially youth who are job. Unfortunately, again, the challenge of the country, we initially planned the program for our youth, but that we see coming for the program. No, 1 year that's now. A man of 83 years old, and the wife 75 years old. They said they were in America for 50 years, and they started to return home back home because of what they saw. Now they came to learn. And I remember they told my director the day they finished their 1 month program, that for once since they have been in Nigeria for like 18 months, that they were actively engaged. They wake up, they know where they are doing, they were among you, said they became youth in their mind. So please, opportunities are everywhere. What we can do, now we are fashion designers who will complain, no job. Here we have people who don't know how to sew, don't know how to design, but they can measure clothes. They will be visiting their offices. They will visit, you don't even know where they are staying. The next thing is they bring clothes to you and you pay. They are making their money. People who learn fashion design will be sleeping. I will be saying there is no business. We have to know our mind. So the first thing you need to do is we are going back to opportunity. Don't forget the opportunity is nowhere to be found. Opportunity is now here. It is your choice. But it is here. I can tell you very clearly. So everything around entrepreneurship is about opportunity. Of course, limitation of resources. You are limited in resources when you start. You may want to start and no money, but if you have that spirit entrepreneurial spirit or mindset in you, money will not be a barrier. This day you can partner. If you want to go into fashion design, you are not a fashion, you are not, you don't know how to sew, you can get friends who know how to sew, who are doing nothing. So, act of course, creativity and innovation you have to apply to be an entrepreneur. Then, creation of new enterprise or transformation of existing one. Now, there are two major strands of entrepreneurship. The startup one, that's a classic entrepreneurship. When you are starting from the ground and you grow the business, that's classic entrepreneurship. Ordinary. The other one is the one you practice inside an existing business. So they don't call it corporate entrepreneurship. Some call it intrapreneurship. Both. In fact, in Harvard, they will tell you forget this dichotomy that it doesn't exist. Like the same principle that you use, though some people disagree. Because if you are a big company and you want to harness new opportunities, money will not be a problem. Information will not. In fact, resources may not be a problem. But if you are starting on your own, resources may be your problem. And of course, you must be willing to experiment. If you know how to cook a goosey soup, you know, if you can close your eyes and tell 10-year-old boy you want to be cooking it, you know the result. That's not for entrepreneurship. You learn by experimentation through error, try and error. But you are not sure. You know, we are talking of startup, not the usual traditional business. Once you are doing innovation, you are not sure of the output until you have a proven model, business model that can now, oh, this is my business. But when you are starting, you are not sure. So it's through experimentation. Then you are creating value and you must be ready for change. You must be comfortable with risk and uncertainty. You must be tolerant for frustration and failure. Please don't teach our students that they must not fail. Let them fail. Even in their course or in their business, they will learn from it. It is one of the irony of formal education when we discourage students not to fail. In business, I said you want to turn yourself into a motivational speaker or motivational lecturer where they don't fail in their teacher. In entrepreneurship, failure is a must. All of us would like Bill Gates, we like Microsoft, but that's not his first business. There's so many businesses that fail, but the only one we know now is the one that succeeded. So the student can fail, and you can't teach entrepreneurship conventionally the way you teach other concepts. They can come and pass, then the purpose will have been different. Yeah, university, in fact, is the last time. University entrepreneurship education. Now, please let us ask ourselves a very fundamental question. When we train our students in the name of entrepreneurship, shoemaking, please, those in technical college, what would they teach? Now, should university contest or compete with technical colleges? So, because there is a lacuna in our education system, and with the death of technical college, I don't think it is appropriate for us to turn university to technical college. I'm not against vocational entrepreneurship. You heard in my profile, I have one. But university should let that be for others. I have a vocational center. Imagine you guys competing with me. I will just be making less of you. That's why you guys doesn't do that. So we should train our mind. Universities of I think it's important I read what is on research. Okay, I can't say this very well. Research indicates that individuals who study entrepreneurship are 3 or 4 times more likely to start their own business. Yes, that's discretion. That's a very big book and it's a research from the US. So don't teach them correct entrepreneurship. And you teach them how to harness opportunity. Opportunity means they can perceive or create, discover. Then they can analyze, evaluate, or explore. Then they can explore. That's a major job of the university. It should be at the generation of generating intellectual knowledge and practical skills. That practical skill is not vocational skill. Thank you.
I think we can do better. Thank you, sir. He has actually done justice to that topic. Here we are addressing the issue of mind. Am I correct?
Yes.
Creating an entrepreneurial mindset in academics. Now we're going to do one exercise now. Where is our mind located? the geographical location of our mind in our body. Everybody, just point to it. Where is your mind? Okay, everybody stand up. Say what? Because this is training the trainer workshop. So point to where your mind is. Where? Hello? We are not here to speak grammar. My doctor. The mind is located here. That is what we use to reason. The medulla what? Oblongata. Many times I ask my students, where is your mind? Some will do like this. That is where the problem is. They don't even know where their mind is located. And that is what we are here to do. We want to work on our minds because we can't give, please, have your seat, son. We can't give what we don't have. And the university entrepreneurship is different from the polytechnic entrepreneurship. I think we are getting there. Mr. Engineer, I think he mentioned something about that. That is about skills acquisition. I believe we are still going to address that very well because the modus operandi is different from that of the polytechnic. And at the end of this training, I believe we are not going to be the same again. And we should be able to go out and teach our students what entrepreneurship is in the university sector. So thank you, sir, for that wonderful lecture. I think we can have one more before we go for our tea break. Huh? Hello? One more. Thank you. We are entrepreneurs. I think we have to start it from here. Because as a business person, at times you forget that you have not eaten. Thank you. I will call Dr. Zanu to come and read the citation of the next speaker. Just 30 minutes will be done. Because we want to finish before 3 so that we can go back to our various practices. Thank you, sir.
I have the privilege to read the citation of Dr. Emajimo. Please allow me to stand on the existing protocol. A Nigerian by birth, Dr. Emajimo is a teacher, a scholar, a broadcaster, and a public current affairs analyst with more than 2.5 decades of post-graduation work experience. Emajimo holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Ibadan. He has to his credit 3 master's degrees, Masters of Education, Masters in International Studies with specialization in Humanitarian and Refugee Studies from the University of Ibadan, Masters of Arts from Speech Studies and Conflict Resolution from the same University of Ibadan. He proceeded to the Lead City University, Ibadan, for his doctorate degree, and he's a Doctor of Philosophy, International Relations, and Politics of Political Communication. Currently, Dr. Emajimo earns a living from teaching and broadcasting. He's a lecturer with the Faculty of Management and Social Sciences, Lead City University in Ibadan, and since 2018, he has been having seasonal engagements